Imagine waking up every morning with a weight lifted off your shoulders. No more dreading bill notifications, no more playing financial catch-up. Just a clear path to freedom. For years, I felt trapped, buried under a mountain of debt that seemed impossible to conquer. $50,000 to be exact. It felt like an anchor dragging me down, stealing my peace and limiting every dream I had. But what if I told you that in just 2 short years, I not only escaped that debt but built a strong foundation for true financial independence? And what if I told you that you can absolutely do it too? That's right, $50,000 gone. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and share the exact strategies, the mindset shifts, and the gritty determination that transformed my financial life. This isn't just my story. It's a blueprint for anyone feeling overwhelmed by debt, a roadmap for your own great debt escape. We're going to dive deep into actionable steps you can start taking today, no matter how big your debt mountain seems. So if you're ready to break free from the chains of debt, stick around because your journey starts now. The first, and arguably most crucial, step in my debt escape was confronting the brutal truth of my finances. And for most people, that means creating a budget. Now I know what you're thinking. Budgeting? It sounds so restrictive. And yes, at first it felt that way. But I quickly realized it wasn't about restriction, it was about clarity and control. Before I had a budget, my money was just happening. It came in, it went out, and I had no idea where it was actually going. It was like trying to navigate a ship without a compass. My first step was to track every single dollar I spent for a month. And I mean every dollar. From my morning coffee to that impulse online purchase, it all went into a spreadsheet. You can use apps like Mint or YNAB, or even just a simple notebook. The goal here isn't to judge yourself, it's just to observe. You need to see where your money is actually going versus where you think it's going. The results were shocking. I found so many small leaks that were adding up to hundreds of dollars each month without me even realizing it. These were the phantom expenses, the little things that silently drained my bank account. Once I had a clear picture, I built my first real budget. I allocated every dollar to a category: housing, food, transportation, utilities, debt payments, and a small allowance for fun. I personally found the zero-based budgeting method incredibly effective, where every dollar has a job. This means your income minus your expenses should equal 0. It forces you to be intentional with every single penny. Another popular method is the 50-30-20 rule: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Choose the method that resonates with you, but the key is consistency. Review your budget weekly. Adjust as needed. Life happens, and your budget needs to be flexible enough to accommodate it, but rigid enough to keep you on track. This foundational step is non-negotiable. You can't fight a battle you don't understand, and your budget is your intelligence report. With a clear budget in hand, it was time to formulate an attack strategy against the debt itself. There are 2 main philosophies here: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Understanding both helps you choose the best fit for your personality and financial situation. The debt snowball method, popularized by Dave Ramsey, focuses on psychological wins. You list all your debts from smallest balance to largest, regardless of interest rate. You make minimum payments on all debts except the smallest one, and you throw every extra dollar you have at that smallest debt. Once it's paid off, you take the money you were paying on that debt and add it to the payment for the next smallest debt. This creates a snowball effect, gaining momentum as you pay off each debt. The beauty of the snowball is the motivation. Seeing those smaller debts disappear quickly gives you the psychological boost to keep going, even when the journey feels long. For me, this was incredibly powerful. Those early wins were like fuel for my determination. On the other hand, the debt avalanche method is mathematically superior. With this approach, you list your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. You make minimum payments on all debts except the one with the highest interest rate, and you attack that one with everything you've got. Once it's gone, you move to the next highest interest rate. This method saves you the most money in interest over time. If you're someone who is highly disciplined and driven by numbers, the avalanche might be your best bet. I personally started with a hybrid approach, leaning heavily into the snowball. I had a few small credit card debts that were crushing my spirit, even if they weren't the highest interest. Paying those off quickly gave me the confidence to tackle the larger student loan and car loan debts, which I then approached with a more avalanche-like focus on higher interest rates. The important thing is to pick a strategy and stick to it. Don't jump between methods. Commit to one and see it through. Every dollar you send towards your principal is a step closer to freedom. Once I had my budget tightened and my debt attack strategy in place, I realized I needed more firepower. Minimum payments were simply not going to cut it for a 2-year escape plan. This led me to explore ways to boost my income. This isn't about working yourself to exhaustion, but about strategically finding extra cash to accelerate your debt payoff. My first step was to look around my house. I had accumulated so much stuff that I didn't use, didn't need, or had forgotten about. Clothes, old electronics, books, kitchen gadgets. I started selling everything I could on platforms like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and local consignment shops. Every sale, no matter how small, went straight to debt. It was amazing how quickly these seemingly insignificant amounts added up. Think of it as liquidating your unused assets to fund your freedom. This also had the added benefit of decluttering my living space, which felt incredibly liberating. Beyond selling things, I picked up a side hustle. For me, it was freelance writing in the evenings and on weekends. I started small, taking on a few hours here and there, and gradually built it up. The key was finding something I could do without a huge upfront investment and that fit around my full-time job. Think about your skills and hobbies. Are you good at graphic design? Can you walk dogs? Do you have a knack for tutoring? Could you drive for a ride-sharing service for a few hours on a Saturday? Even an extra $200 to $300 a month can make a huge difference in how quickly you pay down debt, especially when compounded with your existing payments. It's not about finding a second full-time job. It's about finding smart ways to leverage your time and skills for extra income. I also looked at my current job. Could I negotiate a raise? Could I take on extra projects for a bonus? Many people shy away from asking for more, but if you're performing well, it's a conversation worth having. Even a small increase in your base salary can add hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars to your debt-fighting arsenal over a year. Remember, every extra dollar you earn is a dollar that doesn't have to come out of your existing budget, making it pure ammunition for your debt escape. While boosting income was crucial, I also had to be ruthless with my expenses. My budget showed me where my money was going, and now it was time to make some tough choices. This wasn't about deprivation for the sake of it, but about prioritizing my financial freedom above temporary gratification. First, I went through all my subscriptions. Streaming services, apps, gym memberships I wasn't using, online courses I'd forgotten about. Many of us have these recurring charges that silently chip away at our finances. I canceled everything that wasn't absolutely essential or bringing me immense value. This alone freed up significant cash each month. It's an easy win that many people overlook. Next, I tackled food. This was a huge category for me. Eating out, getting delivery, impulse grocery store buys. I committed to meal prepping. Every Sunday, I planned out my meals for the week, bought only what I needed and cooked in bulk. This drastically cut down my grocery bill and eliminated expensive impulse buys and restaurant meals. It required discipline, but the financial savings were immense. I also learned to appreciate cooking at home and experimenting with simple, cost-effective recipes. Transportation was another area. Could I walk or bike more? Could I carpool? Could I combine errands to save on gas? These small adjustments added up. For entertainment, instead of expensive nights out, I opted for free activities, hiking, picnics in the park, board game nights with friends. It forced me to be more creative and often led to more meaningful experiences. The goal was to challenge every single expense and ask myself, is this absolutely necessary right now, or can this money go towards debt? It's a temporary sacrifice for a permanent gain. Paying off a large amount of debt isn't just a financial battle, it's a psychological one. There will be days when you feel discouraged, when the numbers don't seem to move fast enough, or when you feel like you're missing out. This is where a strong mindset shift becomes critical. First, I changed my language around debt. Instead of saying, I have so much debt, I started saying, I'm actively paying off my debt. This subtle shift moved me from a victim mentality to one of empowerment. I visualized my debt disappearing, imagining the freedom I would feel. This positive reinforcement, even if it felt silly at first, kept me focused on the end goal. I also found an accountability partner. This was a friend who was also working on their financial goals, and we checked in with each other weekly. We shared our wins, our struggles, and encouraged each other. Having someone else understand the journey and offer support was invaluable. If you don't have a friend, consider joining an online community or even just telling a trusted family member. Having someone to share the journey with makes it less lonely and keeps you motivated. Learning to say no was another big step. No to impulse purchases, no to expensive social outings that didn't align with my goals, no to keeping up with the Joneses. It's okay to prioritize your financial future, even if it means temporarily opting out of some social activities. True friends will understand and support your goals, and you might find that you develop stronger bonds through more intentional, less costly activities. Finally, and this is crucial for long-term motivation, celebrate your milestones. Paying off $50,000 in debt is a marathon, not a sprint. If you only focus on the finish line, you'll burn out. Instead, break it down into smaller, achievable goals. Every time I paid off a credit card or hit a $5,000 principal reduction, I celebrated. Not with an expensive shopping spree, mind you, but with something small and meaningful. Maybe it was a nice coffee, a new book, or a guilt-free movie night at home. These small celebrations served as powerful reminders of my progress and fueled my motivation to keep going. They validated my hard work and showed me that my sacrifices were paying off. These moments helped me stay engaged and reminded me that I was capable of achieving my goal. So, there you have it. The exact blueprint I used to pay off $50,000 in debt in just 2 years. It wasn't magic. It wasn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It was consistent effort, smart strategies, and a powerful mindset shift. Remember, it starts with confronting your reality through a detailed budget, then choosing an aggressive debt attack strategy like the snowball or avalanche. Boost your income through side hustles or negotiation, and ruthlessly cut unnecessary expenses. Most importantly, cultivate a resilient mindset, visualize your success, and celebrate every single win along the way. Your financial freedom is within reach, and you have the power to make it happen. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please hit that like button. It truly helps this channel reach more people who might be struggling with debt and need this information. And if you're ready to take control of your finances and join a community dedicated to building wealth and achieving financial freedom, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? Or what's one step you're going to take this week to tackle your debt? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you and supporting your journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.